Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils and snares, we have already come. 'Twas grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead us home. When we'd been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we'd no less days to sing God's praise than when we'd first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch.
Next year is the 50th anniversary of the massacre. I would hope that you could join us again for our March of Truth. We'd like to thank all our eyewitnesses, all those survivors, and all those who campaigned and helped us along the way. I hope they will all join us next year for the 50th anniversary of the Ballymurphy Massacre. Ballymurphy Massacre families usually commemorate the deaths of our loved ones around this time with the March for Truth. Sadly, with the COVID-19 pandemic, we have to cancel it for this year, but we're going to carry out a wreath-laying service. Springfield Park, where the massacre began, the paratroopers started taking up their firing positions just above us, overlooking the field here. Instead of dealing with a mass of 400 loyalists, they set their sights on the fleeing families down below. Father Hugh Mullen came to the aid of a wounded man, and Frank Quinn followed him to aid him. Both of them lost their lives. They were fatally shot from the paratroopers, firing indiscriminately into the field. Just down the street, about 250 yards, where the Henry Taggart Memorial Hall, where the paratroopers were billeted in there. Simultaneously, they started firing indiscriminately across the road. My father, Henry Taggart, was shot. Noel Phillips was shot. Joseph Murphy was shot. And Joan Connolly, a mother of 8, was also. 4 people lost their lives in that field. That was the first day of the massacre. The onslaught on the Greater Ballymurphy are continued. The next day, Reddy Doherty, after checking the well-being of his family in Turf Lodge, was shot in the back as he made his way home. On the third day of the massacre, the fires continued the onslaught with the brutality. There was 600 paratroopers entered at 4 a.m. in the morning on the 11th of August. They made a trail of terror, brutality and murder, where you had Joseph Corr, the first fatality, and John Lavery on the top of the White Rock, what we call the Mountain Lonely. Pat McCarthy, an Englishman who came to Ballymurphy to help the local people and set up a youth club. The powers had accosted him, they brutalised him, resulting in a fatal heart attack just where he was. This continued on, where the last victim of the massacre was John McCurr. John McCurr had just left the church, allowed for a funeral service, and he got about 20 yards from the church gates when he was shot in the head. That was 11 persons who died over the 3 days in Ballymurphy. Ballymurphy families were burdened with investigating this massacre ourselves. There was no police investigation. The only investigation was the military police investigating their colleagues. All the stuff that we had collated over the years and passed on the coroner for an inquest. That's where it sits at the moment. We're still in the process of an inquest. There's still some outstanding issues to finish off. What we have found is these same soldiers, they carried out the massacre in Bloody Sunday 6 months later. We would hope that there would only be one outcome, and that we would change history of what the soldiers had said at the time, and all our loved ones would be declared innocent.